Welcome to this week's video featuring Pat McGrath palettes. I'm not sure whether this is going to be a neutral look with a Pat pairing or just a Pat pairing. I think it's going to be more of a neutral look though, because I have the desire to wear Skyscraper Rose from Eldridge, and that lipstick is super bright and super like in your face, so it kind of calls for a more subtle eye. But let's see where the mood takes us today. I'm taking my Auric Glow Lust as usual in order to brighten underneath my eyes. Speaking of Skyscraper Rose, I didn't actually have the original insanely saturated lips, so the two shades from her very first release several years ago. Those are the shades Rainbow Spill and Skyscraper Rose. I didn't have those, and I had also no intention of picking them up this time. But I kept seeing them on people, I kept thinking they're so beautiful, am I making a mistake? What if they sell out again and she doesn't bring them back for another couple of years? Am I going to get FOMO? I also wanted to get these specific shades for my besties. I'm taking my Lancome Tatidol Concealer. I've made it a little bit of a tradition to every year give them something nice from either Natasha or Lisa or Pat, although I don't think I've actually ever given them anything from Natasha. I did get both of them the Fenty Cream Bronzer a couple of years ago because I was super into it and I thought both of them would really enjoy it as well. So I have gotten them blushes from Pat and lipsticks from Natasha previously, and I know that both of them really enjoy beautiful bright lipsticks. Figured I would get Rainbow Spill for one of my friends and Skyscraper Rose for my other friend, and while I was at it I got both of them for myself as well. That's how it goes in life. For my foundation I'm taking the Dior Backstage foundation. I have worn both shades already. I actually have photos wearing them on Instagram, and I like both of them quite a bit. I like Skyscraper Rose a little bit more than I like Rainbow Spill. Not for any other reason, but because Rainbow Spill is a pink lipstick, and I'm not the hugest fan of pink lipstick on myself. I'm still considering whether I really like this lipstick or whether I'm going to pass it along. I do like how it looks on me, don't get me wrong, I think it looks really cute, but I have had similar shades of lipstick before. I think Urban Decay had a lipstick in a very similar shade called Disobedient, and I eventually decluttered that lipstick because I was using it once a year, and I gave it to my mom-in-law, who really loves pink lipstick. So even though it's a beautiful lipstick, and I think for the kind of color that it is, I can show you both lipsticks in the end of the video when I apply Skyscraper Rose. But Rainbow Spill is like an extremely bright, like neon pink coral color, and it is very bright, very fresh. It looks really gorgeous. It has enough warmth to it, but at the same time, honestly, I'm not sure that I'm going to use it often enough. So for now I'm going to keep it, but we shall see. I'm taking the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish powder thing, and then Skyscraper Rose looks really beautiful. I have no doubts about liking that shade. I really like it. Is it a unique color? I don't think so. I could easily dupe it almost 100% just with a quick look through my Vice lipstick collection from Urban Decay, because that is the most extensive lipstick line that I have in my collection. I used to collect Vice lipsticks from Urban Decay because they were my favorite formula, and they kind of like made me fall in love with lipstick in the first place. Prior to those lipsticks, I actually didn't really like to wear lipstick much because I just hadn't found formulas that would be comfortable, not budge throughout the day, be beautiful colors and all of that good stuff. So once I discovered the Urban Decay Vice lipstick line, every time Feel Unique had sales on those lipsticks, I would purchase a couple. So I amassed quite a collection of these lipsticks, which is why I have the most like complete color collection from those. And when I think of dupes from other brands, I always fall back onto my Urban Decay lipsticks. I'm going to apply my bronzer, by the way. This is the Diffused Bronze Light from Hourglass. I don't actually know, has that lipstick line been discontinued? Do they still sell them? Are they part of the Urban Decay Core collection? I have fallen so like behind with Urban Decay as a brand because they've been so uninteresting in the past couple of years that I have absolutely zero idea, no clue what they're doing. I hope they haven't discontinued the Vice lipstick line because it was an absolute smashing hit in my personal opinion. Relatively affordable well, mid-range lipsticks, but you could always find them on sale for a really good price, and honestly, to this day, one of the best formulas out there. Their cream lipsticks are amazeballs. So like I said, Skyscraper Rose is amazing, and I think something that cannot easily be duped is the finish that the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks have on your lips. They really look like velvet, which is not something you can replicate with many other brands. So in terms of the finish, it's a very unique lipstick, but in terms of color, I did find a pretty much spot on dupe for it within my own collection. For my blush today, I'm going to take Nude Venus from Pat McGrath. I don't know whether you guys have noticed, I've been using this blush a lot. Every time I'm unsure exactly what direction I want to go into with my blush, I'm like, Nude Venus. It's like the universally flattering flush on my face. So I'm like, yeah, okay, if I don't know what to do, if I don't know whether I want to go peachy or pink or a bit deeper with my shades, I fall back onto Nude Venus. So Nude Venus has become one of my absolute go-to blushes in this past half a year. I think prior to that, I wouldn't have said that Nude Venus is one of my favorite blushes, but now I would definitely say that. I think I'm definitely going to keep Skyscraper Rose because I really enjoy the way it just looks on the lips and the color on myself. What I'm going to do with the dupe, I'm not sure, because the dupe is a relatively old lipstick at this point, and I don't know that I would dare to pass it along to somebody else. Even though the lipstick is fine, it doesn't smell funky, it still applies beautifully. For highlighter, I'm taking my new Love Golden Moonlight from Pat McGrath Labs. So yeah, all of that like rambling about Lisa Eldridge lipsticks was for me to say that I did go back to make another purchase on the website. So now I have quite a collection of Lisa Eldridge lipsticks, and I'm planning on doing like a lip swatch party video demoing all of my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks, just so everyone who follows my channel has a bit of a reference in what I have and how it looks on me, and also for me to have a bit of a reference in what I own. It's so strange, like I want to say a year ago I only owned 2 lipsticks from Lisa Eldridge, 2 reds, and somehow within the past year my collection has exploded, and I think now I have like at least 10 Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. I don't know how that happened. Okay, the usual, spritzing my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus. And then we are going to get on to the eyes. Speaking of eyes and eyeshadow palettes from Pat McGrath Labs, it is very unfortunate because Pat decided to release the palette just in such a time frame, in such a window of time, that I will not be able to get it before I go on my summer holidays. So for today's look, what I had in mind is going into this old 6-pan from Pat McGrath Labs. This is from Opulence 2018, the Christmas collection from that year, and the shade that I want to use today is this one, because it is such an interesting neutral, which is extremely hard to describe. It almost has like a bit of a bronzy base to the neutral tones, and there is like the lightest green shift going on. So I think this shade will allow me to get away with doing something that still leans green but is grounded in more neutral tones, so that it doesn't clash too much with Skyscraper Rose. The only reason I'm unsure this is going to be a pet pairing is because I might decide last minute that I want to add some extra glitter, for which I will have to pull out another palette. But other than that, we're just going to be sticking to this 6-pan palette. I'm going to use this shade through my crease, this one probably to just do the tiniest bit of outer corner work, then this is going to go all over my lid, this in my inner corner. Pretty easy peasy actually. I'm taking a fluffy brush and going into the matte transition shade. Also, I want to apologize for my nails looking absolutely ridiculous. One of my friends from work did my nails with gel nail polish, and this is the first time I've ever had my nails done with gel nail polish, and I think both of us are still quite a bit amateurish when it comes to gel nail polish. There's a lot of prep work involved when you want to do that kind of nail polish. It's not just like whacking on a nail polish, and that's not what we did. We did do all the prep, but I think we probably didn't do it quite right, because over the course of the past few days I've been losing one nail after the other. They just kind of like peel off, which is not supposed to be the case. And we are already in the 2nd week. In a couple of days it will be exactly 2 weeks since she applied the nail polish, but theoretically these should just last like the the nail polish that has still survived on my fingers. It should just look like this. There should be a little bit of nail outgrowth, but the actual nail polish should still be on. But I think we probably didn't prep the nails properly, because like more than half of my nails fell off at this point, which is why my nails are looking so ridiculous. I'm sorry. Anyway, going back to the Moonlit Seduction palette. Moonlit Seduction is releasing this coming Friday, July the 22nd. And the more I see promo photos of this palette, or this palette being used on models, the more excited I become, because it really looks like a slightly cooler leaning neutral palette with a twist to that, with all of those like interesting sparkly duochrome shades. The jury is out there on whether we are at all getting astral shades in this Mothership palette. In some photos it even looks like the purple shade might be in a metal pan, but we shall find out, I guess, very soon, because if the palette is releasing on Friday, I expect that by beginning of next week Alicia will already have it to review for us and give us all the deets. I'm taking a slightly smaller crease brush and dipping into deeper brown shade just to intensify the outer corner here. But unfortunately, the palette is releasing just a little too late for me to get it before I go on holiday, because if it's coming on Friday, even if I order it with express shipping, which I will, unfortunately, it just takes so long for Pat's team to ship these things that it probably will not ship before a week later. So that is July 29th, Friday, July 29th. And that is exactly the day that I'm leaving for holidays. So it will ship, it will arrive the week after, so very early in August. But at this point, I will already be lying on the beach, hopefully. Provided everything goes well with traveling, because traveling is such a mess all over the world right now that you never really know. I will believe that I'm on holiday when I'm laying on my beach towel and I'm hearing the sound of the sea. That is when I will believe that I truly made it on my first summer holiday since 2018. So all of that was to say that unfortunately you cannot really rely on me to give you the speediest of reviews, because I will just not be able to get the palette that quickly. So I will do my best to film with it as soon as I get home, because I will order it, and I will order it to the address of one of my besties with DHL, so that when I get home it's already here and I can immediately film with it and, you know, look at it and play with it, because I am also going to be just really excited, and I will be so pumped, especially after watching everyone's videos when I'm on holiday, because obviously people are going to start, you know, talking about the palette, showing it, and then the more people show it, the more excited I will be getting, and I'll be like, oh, I can't wait to get it in my hands. And I'm sure that in the meantime other Pat McGrath authorities are going to share their opinions, so you will be able to decide whether you need the palette ASAP or do you want to wait for a sale, because a lot of you have indicated that you would actually rather wait for a sale, because the prices have gone quite much up for some inexplicable reasons. I'm taking my glitter glue from NYX, by the way, because in dollars the palette still costs $128, so there's only like a $3 increase, whereas for us here in Europe it went from 130 euros to 155 euros. I'm unable to explain where this difference comes from, so I totally understand why some of you want to think really deep and hard before you get it without a sale. Now I'm going into the lid shade, the one with a slightly green tinge to it. It's such a pretty and understated shade, and I'm very sorry for all of you who do not have this Bronze Temptation palette. I'm taking the champagne shade that's in the same palette to apply into my inner corners, and I'm getting the urge to put something glittery over top of that neutral shade, and not because that shade isn't pretty on its own, but because I'm a broken human with a severe addiction to glitter. But before I do that, I'm just going to quickly finish off the look. I'm going to take the tiniest bit of Intensifies before I apply the deep brown on my lower lash line, just so it doesn't budge throughout the day. I was a bit in doubt what sparkle to add on top of this, because I don't want to take it in a too colorful direction, so I thought either the Astral from Midnight Sun, but I want something that's a little bit more warm toned, so I settled on the beautiful Astral shade that is present in the iconic Illumination quote. This is one of my favorite Astrals ever. It has the most beautiful tone to it, and it looks like shiny, wet magic on your lids. So I also actually really like to wear this as a one and done shade. But this is the glitter that I'm going to pop over top of the duochrome shade, because I think it's going to play really well with the undertones, and it's going to add just that extra bit of shine. Okay, you probably can't even tell the difference, but I just added like a very subtle layer of glitter, which will be more apparent if I stand in sunlight or under artificial lighting, but probably in like the sort of dull daylight that I get right now, you're not even seeing the difference, but trust me, it's there. Okay, I am back. I have prepped my lips and I thought it might be fun to apply the shade Skyscraper Rose together. So this is the shade Skyscraper Rose, and the best way to describe this shade is a fuchsia with very strong red undertones to it. So let's put this on so you can see how it goes on. Okay, and just for shits, I wanted to show you the dupe that I have from Urban Decay. So this is the shade Alpha. Let me hold them up next to each other so you can see how extremely similar they are. So the color is essentially the same color, it's just that the way it's going to look on the lips and obviously the formula is going to be completely different. I have to shout out, the Urban Decay formula is still phenomenal. So here you have Skyscraper Rose, and here you have Alpha from Urban Decay. Maybe you can argue there are very slight differences in their tones, but I think on the lips, if I put one on my bottom lip and one on my lower lip, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. I did actually do that and I couldn't tell the difference. And the other lipstick that I wanted to show you is the shade Rainbow Spill, which, like I said, is a warm toned neon coral pink, which looks like this. I'm definitely going to demo this for you also in a video. Like I said, I'm planning a little swatch part video, but this is a swatch for Rainbow Spill. And I will insert a photo from Instagram of me wearing that lipstick so you can get an idea of how it looks like. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you liked the finished look. It did turn out to be both a neutral look and a pet pairing, so I'm going to put it in the corresponding playlists. As usual, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!